Questions have been swirling on social media for days after the San Diego County Sheriff's Department released a video. In it, it claims to show a deputy overdosing on the synthetic opioid fentanyl. Good evening, I'm Jesse Pagan, in for Carla Chiquetto.
I'm Marcella Lee. Some say what the video shows isn't realistic. News 8's David Gottfredson spent the day working to get answers for us. David?
Science is very clear that you cannot overdose by touching fentanyl.
The notion that a deputy could overdose by simply touching or accidentally breathing fentanyl is false, according to Health Sciences Associate Professor Leo Beletsky at UC San Diego School of Medicine.
It is technically impossible to touch fentanyl powder and feel any effects of it, let alone overdose.
Last week, Sheriff Bill Gore posted what he called a public safety video showing body cam footage of a deputy collapsing on the pavement, claiming he had been exposed to fentanyl in the field.
I'm Deputy David Fivey, and I almost died of fentanyl overdose.
It's unclear exactly how the deputy was exposed, whether by touch or accidental inhalation, but some experts say the video may contribute to a false narrative about fentanyl overdose.
This video is not an overdose. It is not possible to overdose on fentanyl in this way.
Ryan Marino is a medical toxicologist at Case Western Reserve University in Ohio.
His pupils are normal size. His color never changes. His arms are kind of rigid and outstretched. His eyes stay open. All of these things really point away from an opioid overdose or any overdose.
The UC San Diego doctor agrees.
The visible symptoms, what we see from the video, could be consistent with a panic attack. It could be, any number of things. People have, fainting events all the time.
And Dr. Marino says the sheriff's video actually does a disservice to first responders.
If I told you day in and day out that if you are near fentanyl, if you touch fentanyl by accident, you're going to overdose, you're going to die, then the second you come into contact with something that you think is fentanyl or you confirm is fentanyl, that is going to cause a very severe fear, panic reaction.
The doctors who appeared in our report were first interviewed by the New York Times, so this case is getting national attention. News 8 asked the Sheriff's Department to release all of the body cam video that appeared in this incident to News 8, and they tell us that will happen as soon as possible. Marcella?
David, there's no question that fentanyl represents a real public safety risk. How is that deputy doing?
We wanted to interview that deputy, but the Sheriff's Department says he is out of the country and unavailable. News 8 also requested the Sheriff's Department release toxicology reports that would prove he actually overdosed on fentanyl. We are still waiting for a response to that request.
Definitely an eye-opening and somewhat alarming video, but it is raising the questions about fentanyl and the dangers of it. Thanks so much, David.
A major announcement coming out of the Pentagon today.
The Secretary of Defense says he's taking steps to make the COVID vaccine mandatory for all troops by mid-September.
News 8's Shannon Handy talked with a sailor's wife who says even though she and her husband are vaccinated, they're still apprehensive about a mandate.
In this memo, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin says he plans to ask the president to make this a mandate by September 15th. However, if any of the vaccines get FDA approval before then, he won't need the president to sign off. So at this point, many say this is already a done deal. In a memo written by Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin and distributed to all troops Monday, Secretary Austin says, I will seek the president's approval to make the vaccines mandatory no later than mid-September or immediately upon the U.S. Food and Drug Administration licensure, whichever comes first. He adds, to defend this nation, we need a healthy and ready force. I strongly encourage all DoD military and civilian personnel as well as contractor personnel to get vaccinated now and for military service members to not wait for the mandate.
The services are going to be tasked to come back to the Secretary with implementation plans for how they're going to get this moving.
Pentagon Press Secretary John Kirby spoke to reporters about the memo, saying the plan isn't to have troops vaccinated by September 15th, but rather have the requirement in place by then, noting the work it will take to organize all branches of the military.
We have to understand, of course, that they have their own deployment schedules, their own manning constructs, their own differences in unvaccinated numbers, and so we're going to be respectful of that.
It's not very good.
As of mid-July, the military vaccination rate stood at 70% for those who have had at least one shot and 62% who are fully vaccinated. Erica, who asked that we not use her last name, is married to a San Diego-based Navy sailor currently on deployment. They're both vaccinated. Still, she's uneasy about making it mandatory for those who are not.
I'm not against science. Like, I'm definitely all for modern medicine and vaccines and that sort of thing. But I don't like the idea of it being forced.
As for what the response has been like within her inner circle, she says it's mixed, though both she and her husband question if the new mandate will lead to some people dropping out.
Him and the group of people that he's with, they definitely feel like there's going to be a lot of people that are going to get out and that are going to end up being forced out because they're going to refuse to get it.
Today, the president tweeted he supports this plan. No word yet on what options or repercussions there will be for those who choose not to get the vaccine.
Shannon, thank you. County District Attorney Summer Stephan announced today she's running for re-election in 2022, and her campaign says she's already raised $240,000. Stephan was elected back in 2018 and served as Deputy District Attorney for 28 years in San Diego. She's tried more than 100 jury trials, including homicide, sexual assault, and human trafficking.
Tonight, 9 Chula Vista firefighters are among the nearly 6,000 personnel battling the enormous fire in Northern California.
The department tweeted a dramatic photo of one of their fire captains facing wall of flames on Sunday. The second largest fire in state history has grown to just under 500,000 acres, burning an area almost the size of Orange County. Hundreds of homes and businesses have been lost, 8 people remain unaccounted for, and thousands more have evacuated.
We sent News 8's Ariana Cohen up to Northern California. She spent part of her day at an evacuation center in Susanville, where she spoke to people struggling through this nightmare.
The air quality here has gotten progressively worse. We can see the ash in the air, making it hard to breathe. We even had to use this atlas to get around because some of the signs are burnt down and roads have detours. We made it here to Janesville, just miles away from the Dixie Fire.
It's stressful, very stressful, but can't let it get to you.
It's the pits, you know. Yeah.
Eric Stifler is staying with family in Janesville after evacuating from his home in Lake Almanor West.
And had no choice, had to leave.
The Drons family has had to evacuate in years past due to fires, but they say they never want to move away.
Keep going.
No, I wouldn't give up where I live for anything. Wildlife in the yard, it's quiet, it's peaceful.
Jam-packed.
Some people aren't as lucky. Many families are staying in tents and trailers at Lassen Community College in Susanville.
She's 17.
An evacuation site for people from Greenville and surrounding communities.
Oh, these people did deserve this.
Lisa Phillips, a former firefighter, lives in Chester and was issued a mandatory evacuation order.
Emotions are high and, you know.
She and her sister run their own pet businesses. So far, they have been here a week with their dogs and birds. She says thankfully her house is still intact.
Sorry, it's hard. You know, having a beautiful home and a bed to sleep in and a business to run and taking care of other people's animals and stuff, and then just, being told you have to leave.
Definitely looking forward to getting back home and just getting back to the norm. I'm thankful I have a home. And I'm thankful that I have my health and I'm alive.
We will have the latest coverage on the Dixie Fire tomorrow. You can follow me on Instagram on Ariana Cohen for the latest details.
Ariana, thank you. Governor Gavin Newsom rolled up his sleeves and helped Caltrans clean up and clear out debris from a homeless encampment today.
The governor was in Alameda County, where outreach workers are offering people in the encampments safer and more stable shelter and housing. While at the site today, Governor Newsom also laid out his approach for the state's homelessness crisis.